This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers coverage this evening. Our first post game of the year, and you see here end of third period. Canucks 5, Edmonton Oilers 3. In what is, well, tough one. Tough one, right? But hey, you know what? Let's look at some positives first before getting too down and out about it. Is the fact that, well, hockey returned. So the fact we also got to see 3 goals tonight instead of getting shut out could have been much worse. And realistically, the Oilers shot the puck 31 times. So we didn't get massively outshot despite losing 5-3. Nothing really crazy, I guess you could say. So in all of this, I'm not going to take the beat us down and get upset about it approach because, trust me, it's game 1 of 56. Yeah, okay. I mean, it means so much more. We're not playing 82. Game 1 means way more than it did ever before. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've been through enough game 1s on Dolynny TV here where people get way too overblown no matter what the game 1 means. Right? Last year, everybody was saying game 1, the Oilers won, but it's not going to stick. It can't stick because, well, no, they played terrible but still won. So, you know what? They played terrible, so that means they'll be awful the rest of the year. And then we finished second in the Pacific Division when the season went on pause. Fair? Fair, I think so. So now we start game 1 with disappointing effort. I think that's fair to say. Could have been much better, absolutely. Were the Canucks that great? No, they capitalized on a lot of Oilers' mistakes, and that's end of the day where I'm sitting here is the Oilers haven't played games since 160 days ago. The Canucks have played games more recently. They went to the second round of the playoffs. Don't mind that. Nobody mentioned that tonight. And the other side, too, is the fact that there were no preseason games. And I mean, I'm going to sit here and give you an honest take of what I watched in the scrimmages. Is the scrimmages for the Oilers this year looked like Junior B hockey. And when you see Connor McDavid playing Junior B hockey in scrimmage, getting ready for the NHL season, that is a little telltale warning sign that something could go wrong. So anyone that was sitting here pretending like I was coming into tonight's game telling you we were going to win this 1-9-2, you'd be kidding. Because there's a reason. When the stream got tough going there at the end of the mid-third period, why I shut it off? Because this is exactly what I expected. I was not going out there expecting the Oilers to romp all over the Canucks. Did I want them to? Absolutely. But again, it's the same old story. And what do? Right, the same old story being Connor McDavid, lazy back checks. That might be the first goal, yep. Then obviously Connor McDavid skating by, floating by guys. Zach Kassian having to play defense for the defense. Of course, he gets burned twice on 2 goals tonight. So there you go. That's 2 goals. And right away, all right, same old story. And here's the thing, is you want to point the finger where the Oilers failed tonight? Simply put, I don't even have to review the stat shot, anything like that. Here's the one stat I have to tell you, and this is why the Oilers failed tonight. The Oilers were 0 for 4 on the power play. Straight up generated nothing on the power play in 4 attempts. You want to know where the Oilers failed? Right there. I don't need to blame Adam Larson. I don't need to blame Darnell Nurse because guess what? Without them, we wouldn't have 2 of our goals tonight. See, that's inconvenient for those people that are jumping ship off the Oilers already because, oh my goodness, we lost 5-3 on opening night. Straight up, right? Okay, fair. All right. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I a little fired up about it? Yes. But end of the day, straight up, when you look at the facts, is this was not the game it could have been. And that's the thing. I expected much, much worse. That's why I was so bummed out with the lull of the game in the first period was simply, you know what? Like, come on, prove me wrong, I think is what we were all asking. And instead, a lot of us got proved right. And that's what really sucks is I don't want to sit here and have people on the internet tell me I was right, that I was going to watch a bum game out of the Oilers. No, like, if I know what I'm going to watch, I don't need people to reinforce that, and that's what irritates me is when people sit here and have to group up on it. It's straight up. If I understand what's about to happen, and I don't know why anyone could pretend like they are almighty knowing that the Oilers suck. Like, sorry, that's something that everybody's put on the internet for 10, 15 years now. And to sit here and claim, oh my goodness, it's another season of that after one game, I don't get it. Because guess what? Like I said, everybody was doing that after the Oilers won the season opener against the Canucks. Everybody was doing that after the Oilers won 5 in a row to start the season this year. So here's what I'm going to challenge you. If you think the Oilers season is in doubt based on this performance, go back to when we were 5-0 and look at how in doubt people thought the season was despite us being 5-0. That's the crazy part here is, guys, we are in for a long run, all right? Yeah, it's only 114, 116 days, but this is going to be a long run, and we do not have time to sit here and get beat down about a 5-3 opening night loss, because trust me, the longer you hold on to an opening night loss, the longer this team suffers. End of the day. Is if Dave Tippett goes out there and pouts, we could have been better, we could have been better. No, don't worry about being better in that game. Be better the next game. That's what I'm saying. Is now, this one, you put it in the tank, you forget it. You don't even look at it, other than if you're Dave Tippett, you break down the film in the morning, you say this, and this, go. And you go get it tomorrow night against the Vancouver Canucks. Straight up, that's all you have to do. If you want to move on, if you want to win in this regular season, you can't think about yesterday. And now this game, officially a final here on this screen, guess what? That's yesterday. Because no longer is this a game review, this is more of a game preview for tomorrow. Because here's what you have to do. You have to take everything out of today and say, I didn't like that. Let's be better. And that's not a coaching thing. That's not a management thing. That's a players thing and a coaching thing in combination. And simply put, the only change the Oilers have to make tonight, despite the lines kind of getting blended up towards the end, which, again, straight up, some things don't change, and I get that. I understand why people are frustrated. I'm not saying there isn't a reason to be frustrated, but there's not a reason to jump ship, okay? But look at it this way. The only thing you have to change tonight to tomorrow at 7 p.m. is figuring out who plays on the power play with the top 4. Because Chason is not going to work up there. There was a reason they platooned him and James Neal. Is you cannot succeed on the power play, playing Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl for a minute and a half. We knew that last year. Yeah, we had the league's best power play. Great. But you know what? That was because they scored in the first minute, not because they scored everything in minute 15 to a minute 45 into the power play. No, that's not how it worked. Because if you watched last year, guess what? Haas, Nygaard, those guys were on the ice by then. Nurse, Bear were on the ice by then, by the way. So, straight up, is there any way to excuse what we saw tonight? No. But the only way to move forward from it is just ditch it and get prepared for tomorrow. And the one thing that I need to see changed, the only thing I want to see changed from tonight to tomorrow, is figuring out who's going to be on the top power play. And I'm sorry, it's Kyler Yamamoto. That guy goes out there 5-on-5, goes to the greasiest area of the front of the net, and draws 2 cross-checking power plays in the same game in front of the net. How often do you see cross-checking penalties called in front of the net to begin with in an NHL game, let alone same guy twice in a game? All right, that's all I got to say on that. Is it's very simple. You reward the kid for drawing you 2 power play opportunities that you floundered to do anything with. All right, fair enough. Now, the last thing to wrap up here is obviously the goaltending from Mikko Koskinen. I'm sorry. Did I say he had a bad game? No, I didn't. Did I say he had a stellar game? He gave up 5 goals, so you're not going to tell me that Mikko Koskinen had a stellar game. Was he solid? Yes. Did the Oilers hang him out to dry? Absolutely. Simple as that. Right there, you need anything else broken down? I don't think you do. The goal scorers for tonight's Oilers game, Yamamoto, Darnell Nurse, Adam Larson. Done and dusted. Caleb Jones, Dominic Cahoon, Zach Kassian, Ethan Bear, Leon Draisaitl, all get assists. All in, all done, 5-3 loss. We're happy. We're good to go. Bedtime. I get to sleep in tomorrow because I don't have to be to work till 9. And we go back at it tomorrow night at 7. I will tell you this. If you're expecting to stream tomorrow night, I'm sorry. There are people in the house that also have to use the internet. And unfortunately, out here in the rural Alberta Advantage, we do not have great internet. So go look up that band, by the way. Definitely, please go look up that band and maybe send yourself off to bed with some tunes from rural Alberta Advantage. All right? Shut up. Let's go. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I'm up on out of here.